Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you all are good and well. So in this video, we will talk about Apple says iOS 17 adoption is slower than iOS 16 so far. Let's talk about on that. Before that, if you are new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe and press the bell icon. It will help you to get notification of every single video I upload on this channel. And if you are enjoy the video, and please make sure to watch the complete video to get information complete to get a complete information. As you know, I divided the video into two parts. The first one is a short part and the second one is a long part. The short part is that according to the data published by Apple, the adoption of iOS 17 is slower than the iOS 16. The next is iOS 17 is installed on 76% of iPhones launched in the latest 4 years. Last time, 81% of modern iPhone were running iOS 16. On the flip side, the pace of iPad OS 17 adoption is faster than the iPad OS 16. For the first time, now the long part is start. For the first time, Apple released the detail on the adoption number of iOS 17 according to the newly released adoption statistics data on Apple's developer website. iOS 17 is installed on 76% of iPhones launched in the last 4 years. This data is measured by devices that transacted to the App Store until February 4, 2024. First spot by Mac rumors. These numbers indicate that iOS 17 uptake is lagging behind iOS 16. According to the Apple, the breakdown of iOS 17 adoption is as following. The first one is of all iPhone released in the last 4 years. Here is the iOS 17 percentage is 76%, iOS 16 percentage is 20%, and earlier is 4%. Of all iPhone is iOS 17 is 66%, iOS 16 is 23%, not 26, 23%, and the earlier is 11%. Based on Apple's data, the adoption of iOS 17 has been slower and compared to iOS 16 around this time last year, 81% of modern iPhone and 72% of all iPhone were running on iOS. So iOS 17 currently has some catching up to do. Beside iOS 17, Apple share iPhone 17 number as well. Let's watch the number. 61% of iPad launched in the last 4 are running on iPad OS 17, while 23% have iPad OS 16 and 10% are still running on older version of iPad. If we talk about all active iPad, 53% have installed iPad OS 17, 29% have iPad OS 16, and 18% still have an earlier version of the iPad OS software. Interestingly, the piece of iPad OS 17 adoption is faster than iPad OS 16. And before we see that the adoption of iOS 17 is far more less than iOS 16, but in the case of iPad, the the adoption of iPad OS 17 is faster than the iPad OS 16. In February 2023, only 53% of modern iPad and 50% of all iPad were running iPad OS 16. It clearly shows iPad OS 17 is outpacing iPad OS 16 for good. This is our video for today. I hope you get some information from this video. If you enjoy the video and get some information, press the like button and we will see you in the next one.